Need to remember the Windows Shift key in order to get out of this crazy thing. Hey there, YouTube, and welcome to Big Mike Beard Wisdom. So today is going to be the lessons learned on the first couple episodes. So for this screen recording, we're actually using PowerPoint, and then all that you really have to do is go to Insert, and then over here is Screen Recording. You click on this, it'll come up with another little menu, and that little menu will have you highlight the area that you want to do your screen recording on, and then it'll also allow you to cycle whether or not you can see the mouse or have audio recorded with it. And then whenever we're all done with it, you just have to remember to hit the Windows key plus Shift Q. That way you're able to get out of it. And whenever you save it, you can actually save it as an MP4 file as opposed to saving it as a PowerPoint presentation, which should make it an editable video. And then speaking of editable videos, in the last one where we were talking about the Xbox Game Bar and how you couldn't see some of the drop downs, this should allow you to see these drop downs. So you should be able to see that, in this video here, I've got the ability to choose what I want to do. And I think create a video with text was what I did last time in order to create the videos in the photos that's on every like Windows 10 computer. Now, you guys might be curious as far as, a new YouTube channel, if you were to just start out and where you'd land. I don't know how or where you would be, but at this point, we've been doing this for about 2 weeks. And then on your channel dashboard, it'll give you your latest video that you put up, how well it's done so far, as well as some more channel analytics. So if we were to go to go to view video analytics, I've got these two up here already split up. So here we've got the first episode. On the first episode, so far we've got about 8 views. Watch time is about zero point 0.8 hours. And then this was actually a much longer video than I wanted to run. I wanted to run something a little bit smaller, but it was a good learning lesson, and I'm happy with it for the moment. Maybe someday I'll wind up making a better, welcome to the channel video or something, but I'll always have that to look back on and go, wow, I've sure gotten a lot better. So, with the video analytics, you can view some interesting data. It's always kind of neat to see, when somebody wound up watching some stuff. You can see your reach. So I'm not still 100% sure as far as like what impressions are. Really should probably do click on here and go to learn more. I did wind up checking some of the stuff like this impressions click through, and for some reason this varies greatly, especially with younger channels. At least that's what happens when you click learn more on this one. They give you a nice little side window that pops up and gives you a little bit more information, and then so it says like half the channels are between 2 and 10, but like a newer channel you're gonna have a much crazier percentages and swing between channels. So like when we go to the next one, you'll see I think the next one's only got like a 6% or something like that click through rate. So, but either way, you're able to see like where if they came from the channel page, if it came from a playlist, YouTube search. Let me see other YouTube features. External. I think the external is probably the Facebook page that I have this link to. So I put a link on the when right before I release it, unless it's except for like the last video. I kind of forgot and did that yesterday. So then here's the latest video, the editing of the first video episode. This one's only had about 4 views. Total watch time is an hour. This one, well, that was a long video too, but it was more in depth. So hopefully like this one will be kind of quicker. And then you can see reach wise, they've hit 44 impressions, 2.3% click-through rate, so I was definitely way off the last one where I said 6. And then looks like channel pages, other features, external, and playlists. So there's been maybe a view from each one. So as far as like the audience, there's like some stuff that you can drill down, but there haven't been enough people to watch, I don't think, in order to show details on the audience and stuff like that. So it would be kind of interesting to see age and gender, how that happens. The geography would be kind of interesting to see too, because I don't know if it's by like state or if it's by country. even the countries would be interesting. Maybe someone somewhere wants to get into YouTube, and maybe there's far away as Australia or something. So we'll touch real quick on channel analytics. So it's pretty much the previous ones just put together. So 12 views total, total watch time 1.7, 2 subscribers. You can see when the videos hit. So here's the first video, and then there's the second video. So, and then with those two videos, I put them in a playlist. And then by putting them in a playlist, I'm kind of hoping that someone might watch the first one, then may watch the second one. So, but you can take and you can edit your playlists. That way you've got them in an order that you want them in. When I first added the editing first episode was the one where I first created a playlist, because that was when I more or less needed a playlist. And then I added my first video to it right away. And the problem with that was that it wound up putting it in a weird order. So what you can do is you can move to top, move to bottom, or you can reorganize these in case you wind up making these and they got a bad order, or you find something like maybe you're doing something on like dog training or something, and you're doing like if a lot of people are doing searches for crate training, maybe you want to move your crate training stuff up first and then your obedience training second, to try and play with the YouTube algorithm, which I haven't been doing at all because I only got the two. So, and then we'll go real quick into the lessons learned and wrap this up. So lessons learned so far is that you're going to watch yourself a lot. Basically, the initial watch of your video to make sure that your video kind of filmed what you were expecting and what you were hoping for. Then you're going to be watching yourself a lot and really critiquing yourself kind of hard in editing. The big thing there is to kind of let yourself go a little bit. So just because it's not absolutely perfect, at least you're putting it out there, and then at least you're moving forward, and it's something you can learn from. It might not be the best thing in the world, but you're going to learn and you're going to grow as you go. And then I always watch a finished quality check. So once I'm all done with the video, I'll rewatch the video again just to make sure when it's compiled by the whatever editing software you're using. That way it looks okay. There's no weird skips. There's no like loss of sound. There's no weird flashing colors or something. And then I'm always probably the first one to watch my video on YouTube, because as soon as it's uploaded, I watch it just to make sure that nothing weird happened going there. Then as far as editing, you can edit your videos as much as you want, and I have yet to try doing a one run video, like a video where I just hit record and I'm right away talking and I'm right away rolling. So it's kind of one of those things where a lot of times I'll hit record and everything that I had in my head just falls out. So it's kind of like that saying about, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face. So, but if you're editing your software and or your video and stuff like that, then basically you can edit out any of those weird moments or anything that you're like, I can't do this. This is too weird. How am I supposed to make this perfect? Well, this is where editing's your friend. So now you can step in. The big thing with editing though is it's going to take time. So I think as I've done this so far, the editing's been about roughly 5 times the length of my total video. So for the first video, that was kind of like the first run at it, but that was, I think, maybe 2 or 3 hours of editing on about 15 minutes. The second video was over 60 minutes of footage, and that took 5 hours just in the editing. So that took quite a good bit, but it's because you're watching and rewatching and rewatching and cutting and splicing and trying to put stuff together perfectly. So it's kind of one of those things where sometimes you got to put the inner perfectionist down and then just go, it's close enough. So, but I would definitely recommend trying to develop a system. So something where if you start shooting video and that the first 5 minutes were just you staring at the camera trying to figure out what was going on, or you had a great idea, or you're going to put words together and you completely, bomb. Basically, just go ahead and maybe just delete that video. So unless there's something funny you did on there or something weird happened that you're like, hey, this would make a great blooper, or not everyone's going to like bloopers. Some people might be like, I'm perfect, I don't need bloopers. For me, I'm not that pretty, I need to be funny. So, but you can delete out any any like time and stuff like that that you had that you know, hey, this isn't working or it's not working out, you can save yourself time. Because otherwise, if you ran 10 minutes of video of you, humming and hawing and trying to figure out what you were doing, then you could save yourself 10 minutes in editing by just deleting that video. Because inevitably you would watch that video and go, no, what did I do? Why do I have this video? What's on this one? Also, if you had a way of flagging mistakes. So that's kind of a weird one, because obviously you can't roll into it in the beginning, but at least maybe like when you go to review the footage, you could be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I know in my head I didn't want to say that, and then if you say something silly or something, that way it cues off in your mind that, hey, when you're reviewing it, that here's where I made a mistake, or kind of like that. Long awkward pause. So, which brings us to the next point. I would say the next point is to keep notes on the video if you're not editing it for a while. So, some of the videos that I have had them sitting for almost a week, and basically it's one of those things where I know I redid sections of the video as I was filming the video. I just don't remember where I did that and in what video. So that kind of goes towards the flagging mistakes or delete wasted time videos. If you keep notes that, hey, on this video is when I did this, or this video is where I did that, or you know halfway through this video I redid the video and it went amazing. So don't worry about editing the first half of the video, because you can completely skip that and just edit this latter half of the video and it'll save you time in the long run. So next up would be scheduling time for doing YouTube. So if you're really getting into this, kind of like I am, it's one of those things where you almost need to schedule some time for it. So basically, if you've got a busy business schedule or something like that, you've got kids, you've got family commitments, try and see if you can squeeze it in. So maybe you do it every Sunday morning or something, and then but it doesn't even have to be like a solid set amount of time. You can set up, here's where I'm going to take time for me to shoot the video. Here's where I'm going to take time to edit the video. Here's where I'm going to take the time to upload the video. So the uploading doesn't take a tremendous amount of time, but I think the last video that I shot, with it being 15 minutes, for at least my internet connection, it took about 15 minutes for it to upload. So to YouTube. So because it took that amount of time, I don't know if it's getting analyzed by YouTube when it's being uploaded or something like that, or if it's purely the bandwidth of my internet connection. So, but it's one of those things where if it's going to take 15 minutes and you just got done editing it and you can barely keep your eyes open, then okay, hey, maybe I can make a little bit of time tomorrow or something like that to upload it. Or because otherwise, if you're staying up super late to try and get everything all uploaded, there's a chance maybe you're not going to watch it again until the next day or something to make sure everything went right. And there's actually some stuff that you wind up setting up as you upload. So you're setting up your description for the videos. You're setting up if it's is like made for kids. So if it has like good content in it or not, or bad content. So, but there's a bunch of stuff you wind up selecting in there. But try and schedule some time. I've got like enjoy the excitement, basically because like this is something that now I kind of look forward to doing. Take a little bit of time doing this. It's almost like quickly becoming a hobby, and it's interesting as you learn little skills. So whether or not you're using some sort of software or like a website like Canva or something in order to design images and stuff, in order to make a video, make the thumbnails and stuff. It's interesting how you can be creative with that, and then also being creative with the videos, handing down things that you've learned to people, that way they're able to hopefully not make your mistakes. And then it's become really interesting. So, and then last I've got in here, remember to ask people to like and subscribe, because that's what we do. I don't really know, but it's one of those things. I'm hoping to grow the channel more. I'm hoping that sometime we can get monetized, which would be really interesting, because it'd be neat to kind of be able to afford some better stuff. Right away, buying the GoPro was awesome, but now I want another GoPro. So it's, I don't know if it's kind of like a fast car. Once you get a fast car, you're like, hey, you know what? This was a cool fast car. How about I get that fast car too? And then you need a truck, and then you probably need a trailer, and then you get all sorts of crazy stuff that, once you start getting into it, I'm sure there's always something, cool and neat and new to try out, and it should be pretty interesting to see how this goes. Right now, as you guys saw and stuff, we got 2 subscribers, which is pretty awesome. I really appreciate it. So yep, right now we're at 12 views and then 2 subscribers, so we're getting close. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Hope wish you all the happy holidays, and I'll catch you next time. And we're starting off today at like the base of the. Hey there, YouTube. This is. I do miss the beard though, especially since it got really cold. All right, back on point. Basically, all that you wind up doing is you open up a PowerPoint presentation, go to Insert, and then let me see. Did they move the screen capture? Or am I just dumb? Think I'm dumb. Oh, screen recording is disabled while we're doing screen recording. Uh, Thanks, guys. How do I get out of this crazy thing? Windows, Shift.